Let's talk about this whole Corey Graves situation. So I was not even aware of this Corey Graves stuff when it went down because we were on the air Monday night. And apparently late Monday night, Corey Graves had put out a couple of cryptic posts. And you're going, wait a minute, is this a shoot or is it a work? And I know Meltzer had chimed off, basically trying to cover all his bases, rather than say, I don't know, it's a simple, I don't know. Let me check in with my respected sources. He's just pretty much, give me, give me 20 on black, give me 50 on red hair. Give me, right now, he's covering his spread, making sure it's all right here. It sucks. It sucks when shit like that happens. That's why I always say to you guys, if you've been checking out the show for a long time, what's the one thing I say when it comes to social media? When you're getting ready to put something out there, hold yourself accountable to that number one golden rule before you publish whatever you're going to publish on social media, which is think about that tweet, think about that post. If you have to even hesitate for 1 second, then you probably should not put that post out. It would probably do you loads better to just go on ahead and leave that post alone. Right? Just delete it, go cool off, get you a Pepsi, whatever, do what you got to do and shake it off. Maybe come back the next day and you'll be good to go. That's always been my golden rule there. Imagine chasing your dream and then being told, not deciding that you're no longer physically able to pursue your dream. Then you dedicate your life to something dream adjacent and being pretty fucking awesome at it. And then when it's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor, being told you're not famous enough for your own job. Just in case you've ever wondered where I've been. So he followed that up later on saying, I have a lot to say. See you on NXT. Well, then word got out. Well, Corey Graves, he lives in Pittsburgh. He just happens to travel out to Florida for the NXT shows. And they were saying, hey, looks like there's only 2 chairs that's being set up here. There's no Corey Graves. And I guess some people were saying normally Corey, I guess he does the commentary for the speed shows that they put out on social media. But long story short, no Corey Graves in sight, not even in the back. So you're wondering, okay, what's going on here? Is this a shoot? Corey Graves is, they're doing an angle where he's going to start wrestling again. Look, let me tell you something. Because, this is like a lot of guesses. A lot of guesses. What I'm going to tell you is this. From what I remember of Corey Graves as a wrestler, the first rodeo, this isn't me being a dick. This isn't me being mean. This is me just telling you where my head was at. But if you want me to follow up on, okay, where are you now? 2025, Lee. Like, what do you say about Corey Graves now? The first rodeo of Corey Graves as a wrestler, myself, vast majority of the wrestling community were like, this is a poor man's version of CM Punk. Like, why? When I got the real deal over here. Like, seriously, I want the latest Xbox. There's no reason for me to go back to the very first Xbox. Like, come on, man. That's what was going on with Corey Graves way back then. Could I even remember when it came to him on the microphone. Certain mannerisms, he just screamed knock off CM Punk. he just screamed knock off CM Punk. And it was kind of one of those deals where, okay, he obviously needs to find himself more, find his character more. Me personally, thinking about it way back then, I just was not convinced. Okay, put the injury to the side, like pretend the injury never happened. Would he have thrived? Would he have been would he have been successful on the card? Would he have been a good mid-carder and all that? He didn't have the body. I know that for sure. His body he was in that Baron Corbin kind of body-ish. And again, this isn't me being harsh. This is me I'm honestly thinking back to how it was then. And yeah, I don't know, fam. I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where you go, maybe the injury that happened with him, maybe it was a blessing in disguise. Who knows? But a Corey Graves wrestling in 2025? No. That is a hard 180, and only the hardcore wrestling fan would be able to go, oh my God, like only the hardcore fan would. What is he, 40 going on 41? So it's not like he's an old man or anything. It's not like that. My whole thing is, if you're going to do something with Corey Graves, I think the number one thing that would make heads turn and all of that good shit, if it was me booking in WWE, I'm going Corey. Because remember when Corey had said a couple of years ago, he's cleared, he's good. Like he could wrestle if he wanted to, but he's good. He likes where he is right now. He's good. Well, if I'm somebody in WWE, I'm going, well, you know what? Let's blur the lines a little bit. Corey, let's blur the lines a little bit. So we got this Seth Rollins and CM Punk feud that's going on and everything right now. What if that ended in a way where, and nobody would see this coming, what if that ended in a way where Corey Graves, maybe he could be a max person or whatever that basically screws CM Punk from getting a dub over Seth Rollins at, whatever pay-per-view. Takes the mask off, takes the hoodie off. It turns out it's fucking Corey Graves, and right? Now that would be something that you follow it up on Monday Night Raw. Corey Graves, like, okay, Corey Graves, CM Punk. Okay, great. At least you're starting him off on a white hot, right? You got him on a, out the gate, nice and hot. And then you can pretty much build from there. That's how you're going to do it. What you're not going to do is have Corey Graves go to NXT and basically, okay, so we're going to try to do some stuff with you. Like, so this whole notion of, oh, what's that? That's a work. No, I was not picking up work whatsoever. Right down to the point. I remember looking at his facial expressions. I had told the wife about it, and I actually showed it to her the night before. And we paused it, and she was like, yeah, I know that feeling. He's real salty. Go back and watch that again. Corey looked extremely uncomfortable. He looked perturbed. And Vic Joseph, he's got his hand on the back of Corey, and he's doing his best to, hey, that a boy, it's going to be all right, shake it off. And Corey just looks beside himself. I get it. Corey has every single right to feel the way he feels. Not for nothing, Corey, and look, many of us can relate to what Corey Graves is going through. whether it's you or somebody that you know in your own life that is experiencing what Corey is experiencing. We all have gone through what Corey is going through. Oh man, the books are opening up. The books are opening up. Oh yeah, man. You know, I've been putting in the time. I've been working OT for these past 6-7 months, couple of years now. Man, everything the employers asked me to do, I've done it. And then some. Instead of putting in 100%, I gave them 150%. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm going to get that promotion. Yeah, you know what that means? Oh, man, I'd be more pay, more this, more that. Books opened up. Your ass get overlooked. Your ass get overlooked for this person that only been working the joint 6 months. And you've been there 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. They getting what you making. And you had to put in how many years to get that pay rate? I mean, you know, let's be real. That's what we're talking about here. That's what we're talking about here. So I get where Corey Graves is coming from, but there is a right and a wrong way of conducting your business. You don't air out your dirty laundry. You don't let motherfuckers know what you think are thinking about your employer, especially when you're thinking about them in a negative light. You don't let motherfuckers know about that publicly on social media. You don't do that. You internalize that. And if it's eating you up that much, then you go to the powers that be and you go, yo, I just want to know what's going on. You know, all the time that I've put in, I thought for sure I had earned my spot. XYZ, what's up? You know, what did I do something wrong? You know, can you tell me what can I do so I can, you know, make sure that like what's going on? And if you don't like the answer that's been given to you, then at that point, you have a decision to make, which is, okay, you obviously feel disrespected. You don't feel valued. You don't feel appreciated. So what can you do here to rectify this? What can be done for you to, do you maybe see if you can take your ball and go elsewhere? I saw all this chatter that was going on where, you know, folks were like, oh, you know, WWE, they can't afford to lose Corey Graves. They can't afford to lose Corey Graves. I hate to burst that bubble, but let's be for real. Let's be for real. If Corey Graves were to go, hey, look, I want out. Okay, you don't want to do NXT and you don't want to be that guy knowing damn well that Pat McAfee is going to have to disappear after a couple of months. And then you essentially are going to be able to slide right back in there, right? Like it's, you don't, okay, well, we got Big E waiting. I know many of you guys don't watch the Today Show, but it was a breath of fresh air seeing the new co-anchor who's from right here in Washington, D.C., Craig Melvin. Oh, man, it was great seeing him kick off the week as the new co-host there with Samantha Guthrie. That brother's going to do fantastic. I'm looking at Big E, very, very promising color commentator. If that's what he wants. If that's what he wants. I think he's going to freaking hit it out of the park. And the way that you can start really brushing him up and all that good stuff. You know, if it was up to me personally, I would have Big E, have him start off doing the speed shows. Let him do the speed shows. And then, you know, once he's okay, he's good. He's about ready. Then you put him on the NXT shows and then, you know, kind of go from there. But if Corey doesn't want to, if he thinks NXT is beneath him and, you know, all this other stuff, then it's okay. Well, we're sorry that you feel that way, but hey, we got other people that can do it. We got other people that will be just fine. We'll be just fine. I'm sure they would hate to lose him, but in the long haul, they will be just fine. We didn't think Taz was going to go anywhere. Taz ultimately went to TNA. Somehow WWE managed. Some thought Josh Matthews was pretty good. We saw what happened. We saw what happened with that. Bit divided fans were when it came to JBL on commentary. But once JBL pretty much was done, somehow we were able to get past that. The times that Pat McAfee has left WWE has somehow been able to manage. I don't know why he operated the way that he did, fam. But this is one of those times where when I personally look at social media, this is why I scaled back drastically on the social media. And I don't do it the way that I used to. There used to be a time where when it came to social media, I would do like the Discords, for example. And I would talk in such a way where how you hear me talk. Because you see a lot of podcasters do this. They create this big, obnoxious, over the top, loud character. And then when you see them in person, they don't act anything like how they are on the show. I don't roll like that. The way I always roll is, hey, what you see and hear of me, that's the same person you're going to get in person. I always wear my heart on my sleeve. I always tell it how it is. But when I was knee deep in the whole social media stuff back in the day, including with like Discord, people were taking things that I was saying completely out of context rather than ask for, clarification. Hey, what do you mean by that exactly? Because I'm thinking you're meaning this one way. Like, motherfuckers would be thinking the absolute worst with some of the stuff that I would be saying, that it got to a point. The hell? They must hear mommy. I don't know. That it got to a point where I said, yeah, you know what? Let me just scale back on all the social media stuff, because this, yes, it's a nice outlet to be able to vent, but man, heaven forbid you say the wrong thing when it comes to venting. You put the wrong thing out there. It's forever in social media land. You're not going to be able to take it back. So I scaled back drastically. And I've said to friends, colleagues, associates, I've said, hey, hit me up on the cell phone. You got my number, give me a call, hit me. Some of them take me up on that. And then others, I ain't heard from them in months. I try not to take it personal. I just go, well, if you're not calling me, you're not texting me, that's on you. It's like, I ain't dating you. I'm not going to be hounding you down. It's like, you got my number. You definitely slide in my DMs. That's open. I made sure of that. It is what it is. So I get how some people like to use social media as a coping mechanism. And I think that's what was going on with Corey here. Obviously he was frustrated about, it's like, hey, you got your wife and your kid though, man. Like, go to them, refer to them, let them know your deepest thoughts. Man, this fucking company, like, let them know all that stuff. Don't on social media. I don't think this was a work whatsoever. I definitely don't think this was a situation where he was trying to put himself in some type of a situation where he was going rogue and, kind of similar to what happened with the New Japan Pro Wrestling commentator from a couple of weeks ago, and he got disciplined. I don't think that's anything at all. So look, younger people out there, learn from the Corey Graves situation and heed what I'm saying. There's a right and a wrong way of conducting your business. Look, let me tell you something, and I'm sure my wife won't mind me sharing this. See, unlike some podcasts where they just, they talk about the news, like we can connect this to real life very easily. That's the type of full context, emotional context that you're always going to be able to get here on this show to help you really be able to understand a lot of this stuff that's going on in this crazy world we live in and everything. Look, Corey Graves, and I'm sure my wife wouldn't mind this, but, at her job, she's been there 7 years. She got passed up 3 times on being a general manager. And it's gotten to a point now where, each time she's been passed up, she's not told why she got passed up. She's not even told, and she's physically gone and, hey, I'm just, what do I need to work on? Did I do something wrong? Oh, no, you're doing a great job. And it's like, well, if you're doing a great job, everything's peaches and cream, why isn't she getting the general manager position? Like, what the hell is going on? That she's now at a point where she's like, I don't feel respected. I don't truly feel valued. And it's like, when you don't feel that anymore, it's definitely time to go. It's definitely time to go. I told her, I said, well, welcome to the house. It's like, you got to do what you got to do. Obviously, it was like, I tried to tell her for the longest time. It's like, look, right down to the point. Every time her boss does these Christmas parties, I'm not the only one that's noticed this. Like, some of her other coworkers, definitely her coworkers, significant others have noticed this. Hey, how come when it comes to these get-togethers, these little Christmas party get-together events, your boss doesn't know how to work the room and go around. Hey, how you doing? Nice to have you here. Thanks for coming. How come this guy doesn't know how to grab a drink, ask for everybody's attention and say, hey, I appreciate you guys coming here. And, hey, team, y'all did a fantastic job. Really appreciate you all. He just thinks by giving a card, with a, $100 little Christmas bonus, thank you. Like it's goes much more than that. It's beyond that. It's beyond that. When you are in a position where you feel as though your work is not being appreciated, you don't feel that you're valued, you don't feel that you're respected. Understand something. You got to have all of those acting cohesively. If there's a fracture in even one of those with your employer, you're not going to last that long. And I got this saying, don't end up becoming a bitter asshole. Leave while you still got your smile and you're still feeling internally, you're still feeling good about yourself and your work. Because once you start having that self-doubt in your head, you start going, okay, man, I must be doing something wrong, or, they must not think. Now, look, if somebody actually said to Corey Graves, you're not famous enough, the perfect retort to that, no matter how we may feel about Corey Graves, the one thing that we all can definitely say, putting our differences to the side on Corey Graves, the one thing that we can definitely say is, well, you know what? He might not be a David Beckham. He might not be a Dwayne The Rock Johnson or a Stone Cold Steve Austin, but you know what? The guy has definitely put in his time. Any and everything that's been asked of him, he's done that and then some. So we're just going to all of a sudden, you feel where I'm coming from? So food for thought on that one.